So I wanted to make a quick video regarding Assassin's Creed Origins. You guys know this is by far one of my most anticipated games coming out this fall. I think with all the improvements with the stats, like with the stats on the weapons, with the combat, it looks like that's going to be improved. The leveling up system, the ability points. I think all that stuff wrapped into the origin story of the Assassins is going to make for a really good game. Plus, you got Egypt. You guys know that's one of my favorite spots in the world. So I'm super pumped. One thing I was a little bit concerned with, and I've kind of been concerned with a lot of the Assassin's Creed games, and really open world games in general when it comes to the modern day of gaming, is the size of the map, the size of the world map. A lot of times with these, I guess developers think they got to have this huge map, but a lot of times you just end up running a lot, or if you got a horse or something like that, you just end up, a lot of it is just movement. It's not actual gameplay, right? It's just like mind-numbing movement from one point to the other. And, some games don't utilize fast travels that well. You get my point. And so I've always kind of sided on the smaller map size with more content. I would prefer my game to be that way than a bigger map size with content, if that makes sense. And so that's something I was a little bit nervous about when it comes to Origins, but I came across an article today. I'll link it in the description below. It's over on GameSpot, and apparently they interviewed the director. I'm assuming it's the lead director. It doesn't say he's the lead, but it also doesn't say he's not. So I know sometimes they'll have multiple people working on these projects. I'm just going to assume he's the lead. He said it was difficult to compare to past games since every project is different, and I'm quoting here, but he said he's sure it's bigger than Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You guys know Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I love that game. It was a pretty big world, but I felt like everything was spaced out enough. It made sense. There was a lot of stuff to do on even some of the islands that you wouldn't think there'd be nothing to do on. There was something to do because you had the little treasure hunts you could go on and all that kind of stuff. So I felt like it was jam-packed with content, but it wasn't too spaced out, if that makes sense. But what he's saying here is that the map is going to be bigger, but they're doing a good job of cramming a lot of content into the space as well. I'll quote him here as well. He says, if I compare it to previous games in the past, I don't actually know the exact numbers, and he put for Origins, but I will say that it's at least twice the size of Havana from Black Flag. And he quoted again, he said at least. Now, a couple other bullet points down at the bottom of this article, they're saying that the map, the game world map, is pretty much open right after you finish the introduction. So there's a sequence, you guys know, the opening cinematic. When you're done with that, they said the world is pretty much open from jump, which is pretty cool. Now, I don't know if the opening sequence is going to be the real world or Egypt, because you guys know that typically with these games they'll jump back and forth between real world and then the historical timeline. So I don't know what that introductory sequence is going to be, and I kind of don't want to know, you know what I mean? Because the real world has always been kind of fascinating to me. So that's been confirmed. I know, to my knowledge, that hasn't been shown off yet, unless you guys know of a trailer I haven't seen. But I know the trailer I showed on my E3 Rewind video didn't show any of the real world stuff, unless I just missed it. I may have just missed it, but I don't know at this point if they've shown it off. And I kind of don't want to see anything regarding the real world, and hopefully they keep it a secret. They say down here that they're trying to keep it secret because they want us to be super surprised as to how it all ties in. So hopefully they don't do a lot of releasing a lot of info on it, just so it doesn't, get out there. But I think with all these upgrades and things they're really considering with this game, I really feel like we're going to have a good game on our hands. I really do, especially when you tie in the fact that it's going to be the origin story anyway, which origin stories are always cool. I think we're going to have us a good game here, guys. He did say here at the bottom, he says that once we figure out what the modern day storyline is all about, and I quote him here, he says, I think people will be happy. So we'll see how this goes. I just want to bring you guys a quick video. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. I'll see you guys right back here tomorrow.